sunrise, new day's dawning, and it's calling you and me, where the mighty Mississippi flows by Memphis, Tennessee. We've got woodlands, fields, and water. Hey, there is no better way. You can find out all about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Make some time, take the family, ask a friend, but don't delay. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Listen up and learn about it on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Good Saturday morning and welcome to another edition of the award-winning Outdoors with Larry Ray. Brought to you proudly by Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Barton Power Sports, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Best Care Home Services. Now, here's your host, Larry Ray.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk outdoors for the next 90 minutes. And again, my voice is getting stronger. I can't say that for the rest of my body, but my voice is getting stronger, and as I deal with the epizootie for ongoing, I think, forever. But I do have two wonderful people in the studio with me this morning who love to do introductions and things like that to Outdoors with Larry Ray. And we've got Bonus Frank. It's good to have Frank here once a month, but to have him twice, he thinks that he's not going to have to come next week. But no, that's his regular assignment, I hope. Frank Barton. Good morning, Frank.
Good morning, Larry. Good morning, everybody.
Is that not
Good morning, Frank.
The second week of the year, and here we got Frank. And then, of course, this is John Gordon's time, and John is here with us. John, thank you for making that long drive from Hernando to be on Outdoors with Larry Ray.
Glad to be here as always, Larry.
Yeah, and we'll talk with John a little bit about some things as we get ready. I'm ready right now for cooler weather, and I know Frank is too, but probably at Barton Power Sports. This is prime riding motorcycle weather, right?
It is. It's a little warm, but it's dry.
It is dry. Well,
And,
other than
so
pop-up showers as we have them and everything.
Right. But it is prime time.
Well, and I appreciate that. And, of course, Ron Wong, is in Orlando at ICAST, and we're going to hook up with Ron here, probably in the top of the hour. We'll probably go to him a little bit early. He has lined up some guests for us from ICAST. I used to know what ICAST stood for, but it is the fishing mecca of the world about this time every year in Orlando, and Ron is wearing out his third pair of sneakers by now as he walks. He's told me how big it is, how many rows it's got, and all that kind of stuff, but I know he's eating well. We've seen that on Facebook. You're shaking your head. In radio world, they really don't understand when you shake your head.
Well, anyone who's familiar with Ron knows that good-looking women and food are his main vices, I believe.
Well, you said it, not me, but that's the way it is. But Ron will come in with us here in a little while, and we'll talk. But let's talk to John, and let's talk to Frank, since we have a bonus Frank here for a little while on today's show. And you mentioned that, Frank, about the weather and things along that line. And I did have a friend who spends a lot of time on his cycle. I won't mention the name of the brand because it's not Indian, so we won't even go any further from that. But the wardrobe is different now, but at the same time, protection-wise. He was talking about what he wears now compared to wintertime and things along that line. So protection-wise, if you were coming to your store today, and this is all, we haven't rehearsed this or anything. I'm not very good at rehearsing or anything like that. But you're looking for somebody that wants to be protected, but at the same time try to be a little cool. I know as a golfer, there is so much dry fit and things along these things. And as a hunter, we know come dove season and things along that, there are lightweight clothes. What about the motorcycle guy?
Well,
or gal?
The thing we need to remember on the motorcycle end is safety is the very first.
Okay.
And safety is the very last. And safety is everything in between.
Safety then.
So
what do they?
But what we see? Unfortunately, what I see this time of the year is I see people riding in shorts, and I see people riding with tennis shoes, and sometimes I see people riding with flip flops.
Come on,
and that's just not cool. It's just not
cool. That's no pun intended.
No. So
can you be protected, and is there a way to stay cool?
Sure. I can show you some statistics and show you some scientific proof that riding with long sleeves is actually cooler than riding in short sleeves. And I'm talking about cool meaning temperature-wise.
Okay, all right.
That when the temperature gets up above, I think it's 95, 96 degrees, that your exposed skin to the air is actually warmer. It is hotter to you than having covered skin to the air, and that it's cooler riding in long sleeves, like a long sleeve T-shirt, or in today's technology, there's all types of fabric that's actually cooler than what we had 10, 20 years ago.
So technology-wise, there is cool clothing, but at the same time, safety and protection, because it doesn't take much to have something go wrong, and you're out there. I can't imagine flip-flops or.
Oh, I can show you pictures, plenty of them.
And you don't have to wear a helmet in Arkansas, right?
Arkansas, a helmet is optional in Arkansas. It's not optional with me, but it's optional as far as the law goes.
And there's several states with that.
The further west you go, the fewer states that you'll find that have helmet requirements.
Okay.
Yes.
And of course, that's your number one protection that you need to have on. And then I know people like to drive and feel the air blowing through their hair, if they have any. I mean, but it's the cool effect.
That's right. And there's a lot of I don't get into it, and a lot of folks with whether or not they should or shouldn't. I just tell them what I do.
Okay.
And I wear a helmet. And if you work for me, you'll wear a helmet when you're riding my motorcycles.
July, we're in July, and I assume that this may not be the typical month that everybody rides on long distance. I don't know. I'm saying there are times of the year, like anything, that you want to go to places that are cool and things along that line. So you have to drive a pretty good distance right now in your cycle to get to somewhere where it's cool.
That's correct. But this is peak time. This is peak time for motorcycles. Yes, everybody. Lots of trips planned. Lots of people that are I've got several friends that have just recently come back from a 2-week bike trip out west and northwest, and they sent loads of pictures back every place that they went. Got pictures of them surrounded by snow.
Okay. All right. That's cool.
Out in Colorado when they were 11,000 plus feet up in the air.
Well, that's not good.
So that was it was fun to watch them. But this is a peak motorcycle period of time.
So right now, then, if you're coming to your store and you're buying a cycle, so what piece of equipment do you buy next? The helmet, I'm assuming.
As long as if you're a first-time buyer, we'll make certain that you got the right safety stuff, whether it's boots, helmet, glasses, goggles, gloves. Those are all things.
Steel toe boots, I'm assuming. I mean, or just sturdy boots. I mean,
a good sturdy boot, something that gives plenty of protection to your ankle. Not only the toes, but also the ankles.
Well, if you watch the Major League Baseball player now, he is covered up with things all over his body, whether it's the elbow thing, the thing on his head. I mean, there's different things now for safety. and which gets me back to John right now because waterfowl hunting, and Frank knows this too. July is a great time to talk about waterfowl hunting. It's not a great time to spend time on your blind getting it ready, but I've heard people tell me that duck hunting is full time. It's all year.
Well, for me, Larry, especially, I work in the industry that, for me, it's 365 days a year. I'm either working towards it or thinking about it, writing about it. We'll
talk clothing.
It's my life.
Talk clothing then for the waterfowl hunter, and let's talk about the dove. We got 2 minutes here. Clothing today is so much better than when I used to wrap up in my camo and things along that line. But you can go to Avery right now and find dry fit. As I've heard, different kinds of. I got a shirt from you guys, short sleeve shirt that feels like nothing on. I'm glad it's not, but it is cool.
Well, that's it. It's just the technology, like with everything else, has just leapt forward by leaps and bounds in the clothing industry. So, just like with the breathable insulated wading that we have on the banded side of things, that's revolutionized the way people view wading and comfort.
Yes, yeah.
So it's the same thing with lightweight clothing for dove and turkey hunting. You've got very breathable fabrics nowadays that's a lot more breathable than cotton, and wicks away sweat from your body and really helps you cool down. So it's a lot better than it used to be years ago.
Well, and I know John's going to have a story in the August issue of the Mid-South Hunting and Fishing Guide. Tell him what you're going to write about, because I think it's pretty cool, so to speak.
Yeah. You've two of the major seasons coming up, for wing shooting or doves, and then teal and wood ducks in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So, a lot of folks like to get out and you shoot around in sporting clays, things like that. But there are things you can do every day at home, gun mounting, tracking, things like that can really improve your shooting in the long run.
And you need to be ready for that. So we appreciate Frank's here for as long as he wants to. John, you're trapped here. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back, and we're going to try to hook up with a gentleman who has a guide service on Kentucky Lake that I've heard nothing but great things about. So we'll come back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.